All right, welcome to the Pure Motivation Podcast Show. I'm your host, Dimitri Giancoulis, and today we are joined with the lovely Rai family. Yeah! Guys, we are here today with Sam and Neeru Rai, and we're talking high-performing couples, okay? Now, you always hear about high-performing athletes. We hear about high-performing entrepreneurs, but no one talks about high-performing couples. And what does that mean? In my eyes, I break it down to a few different points here. And we're talking about couples that have demanding work schedules, demanding careers, couples that have children, couples that can come to the gym and work out. These guys train 5 days a week and they're going to tell you their secrets. But couples that are able to balance health, fitness, family, finance, feelings, it's challenging to balance everything. And when it comes to health and fitness, either one person wants to join and get fit and the other person's not really interested, or they both want to join, but they don't know how to begin. So today we're going to share a bunch of questions that we got here for those of you who are watching on YouTube. For those of you who are listening in your car, if you're cooking, if you're doing grocery shopping right now, you're going to have some great nuggets from these two lovely, lovely couple. They're going to share their experiences with us. But most importantly, my message and my mission today is to make sure that I can empower the most basic family to know that fitness is something that you can keep in your lifestyle, that you can master, and it doesn't have to be your traditional style where you got to be wearing tank tops and you got to hit certain body fat percentage, or you got to be able to lift or look a certain way. It's about balance. And I think it's more important when you have kids, right? So, Sam, Neeru, welcome to our podcast show.
Thank you for having us.
How you guys feeling, all right?
Good.
Feeling great,
yeah.
feeling relaxed.
A
Feeling
little
good.
nervous or what?
Here.
It's my day off from working out, but I'm still here at the gym. It's
That's
funny,
it.
isn't it?
You
And
live
I
and you
did
work
my
here, man.
7 o'clock.
I shoot at 7
a.m.
o'clock this a.m.
That's
yeah.
it. You were one of the first people coming in today.
Right.
All right, guys. So for those of you listening who don't know who we are, who don't know who I am, we have a body type specific personal training studio in Vaughan. We also do online training internationally, anywhere around the world. If you need help with your fitness, your nutrition, we can help you out, but we do so in a very unique and dynamic way where we teach you how to eat and exercise based on your body type, okay? Which is really different. So I want to get in here, and before we ask you guys some questions here, because you guys are role models to many people here in the club, I want to hear, give us a little background about you guys. First, let's find out how you guys met.
Wow. that was not planned. That's funny.
That's a totally different conversation. But how'd you guys meet?
We celebrated our 21-year anniversary this year.
But that's not what he's asking.
Yeah,
He's asking how we
I
met.
know.
He's
Married,
asking-
yes,
21
right?
years married.
21
yes.
years, wow.
To get to the point, we met at a nightclub.
Oh my gosh,
Power
me and my
bar.
wife met at
Yes.
a nightclub too.
Power Bar back in the 90s.
1996.
Can't remember what night of the week. Was it a Friday or Saturday? But it was like hip hop
Wow,
and
the
R&B,
90s,
like
that's right.
90s kind of thing. Yeah.
For all the
Power Bar.
millennials listening, 1990. years.
We met in a club. That doesn't happen these
Right.
days.
And
right?
they're still together, guys. They're
And we're
still
still
together.
together.
They're still training. Still got kids. So you met at a nightclub. Obviously, you fell in love with her. You fell in love with him. And then tell us from that point on now, what's your lifestyles like? For people who don't know who the Sam and Neeru is, tell us about your lifestyle.
Oh, man. You want to go first or me?
Well, I'll start off. When we did meet, it was like the banker met the DJ,
Mhm.
right? And we
DJ
were
Sam Rai.
DJ Sam Rai. Yeah, we were both newly into our careers. I
Mhm.
worked for the Bank of Nova Scotia and Sam in market research.
Right.
And from there, we got married soon after, and then we had Jaden. So yeah, so
Back
right
in the olden
away,
days, we should do that quickly, right?
right?
We
Yeah.
didn't wait.
So right in there, it was just about me, Sam, and our little family, and no time for anything extra outside of that.
Got it.
Sam, I believe you did go to start the gym shortly after Jaden was born, right?
I think I might have been at the gym, and I think it was the Extreme Fitness at Young and Seven.
Back in the days,
Back in
yeah.
the day, yeah. I was there, but I had no plan. I was just
If that
going there
arm
for-
is in the way, you can push it down if you want.
I was going there with no plan with exercise. I'd have a chest day, I'd have a back day, I'd have my cardio day, I'd swim. It was no plan. It
Old
was-
school bodybuilding routine.
Yeah, exactly. There was no method to the madness. I just went for the sake of going to the gym.
Right.
But that was not even consistent or Yeah, it was not consistent. It was sometimes 3 times a week, sometimes I miss a week.
Right.
That was fitness wise. Yeah, and like you said, we had Jade in 2002.
The Rihanna shortly after that.
So our
and then-
daughter was 2 years after that.
So I always wanted to get into some form of exercise. I had 2 little kids, so I thought, oh, taking a walk with the stroller down the street, going to the park was just enough for me.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? You're consistently busy, and then I was returned back to work, and
Right.
then eating habits were off. So
Right.
yes, I did put on weight. I did not look like what I did in my early 20s when I met him.
Right.
And so there was always that desire to get back into, shape or feel good. You lack that kind of motivation when you don't feel your best, right?
You want to get back to the state you were at before you had kids.
You just want to feel good, right? I mean, I'm happy. You're happy. You have this family, but there's something that's missing, right? So,
Right.
and that's where the balance comes in after, right?
So you started your own business, getting busier.
Yeah, so my career took a different path than hers. I've always been in the market research industry, large companies, international. And then at some point in my career, I wound up acquiring a small one, which I wound up obviously owning for a few months. And then just recently, less than a year ago, I wound up selling it to another large company. So I'm back as an employee, but I've got a pretty senior role now in my career path. During that time, like during all this happening, I was, again, not consistently going to the gym. No, I gained weight also. I think my peak might have been 205, 210 pounds.
Really?
I knew I was a bit overweight, but it didn't bother me. In my head, I'm thinking if I go to the gym, once or 3 times a week, every now and then, I'm still trying to maintain this body shape as much as I can.
Right. Well,
Right.
you're a confident guy. It's like everybody. You get married, you have kids, your wife is going to love you, you're going to love your husband, you gain some extra pounds. You guys are very social. For those of you guys who don't know, extremely social people, always having fun. So it wasn't really something that you felt was lacking.
Right. And just like I said, we were happy in our little family, so whatever was working, me taking the kids to the park or a stroll down the street and him going to the gym, a couple of times a day, doing some cardio,
Yeah.
that was just what was working for us at that time. And that's all we kind of knew, right?
And
The
then
kids
what-
were young.
What
And we-
ended up happening, or where did you guys start feeling that fitness was something that we needed to get going?
For me, into my late 30s. So now we're talking the kids are now in their, young teenage stage. And I was finding that I was having a little bit more extra time on my hands in the sense where soccer practice would be a couple of days a week. There was not a lot of running around juggling. So I'm like, oh, I have some extra time here. What am I going to do with this time, right?
Right.
And I headed into a very different body, mind, spirit realm, which helped lead me to this where I am today.
Let's talk about that mind, body, spirit. Was it something that was positive? Was it negative? Was it because a lot of women listening right now are thinking, hey, she sounds like me. Was it something that was challenging for you?
Well, that's you, because I'm not mind, body, spirit. I'm more mind. She's the mind, body, spirit person.
Well, body, mind, spirit, I did. So into my career with Scotiabank, I knew there was something lagging and there was something gnawing at me to do something different. So I decided to go back to school
Nice.
part-time. And I graduated as a registered holistic nutritionist, where
Nice.
I learned and saw food and body, mind, spirit in such a different way than I ever did in my whole life.
Perfect.
What water does to your body, what putting lemon in your body does, eating the right types of macros, and what's a macro? Oh
Right,
my
right.
God. And, you learn about, so much fat, so much protein, so many carbs. Like once you understand and learn, it opens up this whole realm. So I went on this journey. So my eating habits started to change in the household.
Did his start to change?
Not right away.
No, we this is where one of our struggles were as a couple.
And this is
Your-
where a
your-
lot
your
of people
struggle.
struggle.
Your struggle. I was
Well,
fine.
it was
a lot
a
of people, because
struggle.
one person wants to make changes and one is kind of comfortable.
Yeah, so he was headed into the whole exercise realm, but I was on the whole nutrition part of it, right?
Got it.
So the diet started to change and the food type started to change, and I wanted less of junk food or in the house, and when I would see it, it would bother me because I'm like, I'm on this journey, I need everybody to support me, and I
Got
felt
it.
like there wasn't that support in the house, which kind of We did.
Sam's
There
smiling,
was
by the way.
conflict.
I'm smiling because I'm not saying anything right now. This is the
Right?
best podcast I've been a part of.
Right? So we did. We struggled for a little while, and I think magically, maybe the apple fell on Sam's head. I don't know, but it took a little while, but slowly
It
I
was a
saw
lot
his
of
I can tell you what
coming
happened. I can
on
tell you what happened.
board.
I can tell you what happened. I can tell you.
Right?
I remember
His belt
exactly.
buckle didn't fit one day.
No, it wasn't even that. It was like I started to get just a bit more serious and more consistent with the exercise. Again, still no plan, just being more active, right?
Right. I'm
And
going to
then-
stop you there for 1 second.
Sure.
Guys, I hope you're listening. A lot of people go through fitness, put time and effort into it, drive to the gym, wherever they're doing, and they don't have a plan. And if you don't have a plan, it's almost like going through the motions. And if you go through the motions for a long period of time, you don't get results, what end up happening? You kind of quit. So tell us about your going through the motions.
Like, also going back to my gym visits.
Yeah, how'd you
prior
start
to
coming
this
into it?
change.
Yeah.
Oh, I was literally again. It was so my my plan then was just to lose weight. So I wasn't even focused on lifting weights, and like that. I was strictly cardio. So
Cardio.
on a treadmill, on the elliptical, on a stairmaster, swimming. And-
Typically, everybody feels that cardio is going to be the key to success.
Right, and again, this is what I'm saying. Like, there's no plan. Had I done any research, maybe I would have known better by now. Right. So then, yeah. So while I'm doing this at now I'm at LA Fitness at Bathurst and Rutherford. Got a squash court, swimming pool. I'm trying to use those as much as I can with the cardio machines. And
The big box chains.
yeah, in the background, she's doing this food thing, and now this is 2017, I believe, when my brother told us that he's getting married in December of 2018. He told us this December 2017. So I'm like,
You
okay,
got some motivation up your ass now.
now like I want to look good for this wedding. This is my brother's wedding. I want to be in the best shape, and then knowing that she's on this diet thing.
Not diet.
Sorry.
We don't like the word
Like
diet.
we don't. I
Careful with the
apologize.
words.
Yeah,
Yes.
we don't.
Gentlemen,
Watch
careful
your
with the
words.
words if you're
Better
listening.
eating. You're right. Well, actually, no. It is a diet. It's not negative. We all have different diets, right? It's
Yeah.
diet's eating pattern. I don't mean it in a
My
negative way.
diet means 4,000 calories a day. Your diet
Yeah, yeah.
may be 2,100.
But I apologize for any negative connotation that came out of me saying diet. So then what started happening? So then I
But
got.
can I pause
No,
1
no,
second?
no,
Yeah.
you can't.
I just have this one
Sure.
cool point. So when he was switching on and like coming on board with nutrition,
Nutrition.
I was coming on board with his whole going to exercise regime.
Got it.
So we almost like picked up
That's good.
something that we were both working on,
And
right?
this is
So-
key because a lot of
that's
couples
huge.
don't have that.
right? So he learned something from me, but I also learned from him too. So I joined him at the gym.
No,
Right?
no.
Wasn't it?
Well, I think you
LA?
might have been a member. You
I
were,
was
no,
taking
you
like
might
a
have even.
Zumba class.
We might have even canceled. I think there was a gap when you stopped going to LA Fitness. But it was you. So here's where everything started to change for us. So December, still no plan, but just going to the gym more often. And then she had the idea of getting a trainer to come to her house twice a week,
Got it.
right? So trainer twice a week, and then still doing my cardio. Now this trainer comes, and now he's showing me exercises that I never do. Stuff I do all the time now.
Yep.
Squats, rows on a more regular basis, burpees, stuff like that. And then I started to understand the concept of a plan. I started to understand if I do different exercises, how it impacts my body and the importance of each, at least to balance it around the entire body.
But
I
if you
started
didn't hire a
understanding.
coach, you wouldn't have seen that.
I wouldn't have seen it.
100%.
I wouldn't have seen it. Absolutely not. No, like a trait.
Hope people are listening here. Hiring a coach teaches you that.
If I were to like give thanks or credit to any type of people that helped with this journey, it's definitely been coaches, trainers, and
100%.
Because again, I've learned so much from them. They've been my coach.
100%.
I haven't had it. I can't remember last time I had a coach. Last time I had a coach, not work wise, who's a boss, but a coach was maybe back in high school when I played on a basketball team.
Right.
That's the last time I had a coach to give me tips on what to do, and even at an active level.
Yeah. It's
Right.
about like a whole thing. Like I know what I'm good at. I know I'm the CEO of my house. I can grocery shop. I can do this. I have so many different things, but I need somebody to teach me this.
So
And
why do you guys think that a lot of people listening right now are in the same boat, but they don't want to make that step? Because everyone always says, well, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. And my favorite line is, well, if you would have did already.
So,
There's
I think there are two. Okay, no, I think based on what I hear, because I have this conversation with a lot of people. the two factors, and they're not necessarily combined. It could be one per person or combination. Is one is time, and the other is money, depending on where they want to join, right? Like, if you want to have like the coach, you have to understand so it costs you more, right? But you're paying for your health. There should be no cost. There should be no price tag on that.
I hear a lot. Oh, I can find my own plan. I can go on the internet. I can take bits and excerpts from.
Right.
I can get this diet
right.
plan,
Google,
and then I can do
YouTube.
this.
Yeah.
But the amount of time that I've done it. I'll tell you that I did that in the past. I'm like, oh no, I don't want to join yet. I can put my own plan together. Sure, you can, but you're still lacking that motivation and that voice behind you saying you can do it, Neeru. No, Neeru. Maybe you need to tweak this up. Right now, I just have a piece of paper that I know I'm supposed to follow this eating plan, and I'm supposed to do this exercise.
I also think you time collapse when you hire a coach or you go to a studio like ours that has coaches for every class you come to, because what you're going to learn in 3 months here or with a coach, you're going to take 6-8 months on your own. So if you could time collapse and save that time and get the results, I think that's better. So we had a wedding. Sam says, listen, when I'm on the DJ booth, I got to make sure, my midsection is not hitting the turntable. So then how do we turn into you guys coming to Pure Motivation Fitness?
So we know someone that used to come here, and
See, guys?
sounds like she's coming back.
You see that? Referrals.
Yeah.
I think she's
Exactly.
coming back next week.
I heard.
We're not going to mention her name, but when you hear this, we're waiting for you.
Actually, we have mentioned her name, just not her specifically. So
she told you about us?
you guys had a Spartan event,
Yes, a
Yes.
Spartan Challenge. That's right.
and
Pre-COVID, when we used to have everyone
Yeah,
together, hugging
yeah.
and training together and climbing ropes.
And it's funny. So we were about 6 months, close to 6 months, with the coach house coming to our house, and we were telling ourselves we need change. Like, we can't sustain paying for this guy twice a week. Like, we're practical too, right?
Yeah.
And then we came here for the Spartan Challenge, and we saw the exercise you do. You have
That's right. You came and you joined the
We
challenge.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember whose team I was on, but we didn't win, and neither of our teams won. But we came and we saw the facility, we saw the place, we noticed how the members talk to each other. We saw how the staff talks to each other. We saw the community kind of sense around us.
The
Right.
person that referred us to the gym had just
Great
had
things to say about you.
amazing
Yeah,
things.
yeah,
She's like,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
she was in our ear for a long time. You got to check it out. You got
Thanks,
to come.
Neeru.
You're gonna love it. I'm motivated there. It's great. There are team classes. You can go at your own pace.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, we'll check it out. And you know what? She's like, why don't you just come to that challenge
So you know what's
and do it for yourself, right?
Now, were you
Yeah.
guys team class people? Were you guys in group people or no?
sorry, were we?
Were you into group classes?
Well, when the coach came, it was a 2-on-1. It
Yeah.
wasn't like one-on-one,
Oh,
then a one-on-one. We both trained at the same time, and we'd have some would be the same exercises, some would be different.
Yeah.
So we have we never had an issue of being in a small group, large group. We're fine in a group environment, totally fine. When we eventually wound up joining, because she wanted to come more often, it made more sense for her to do the larger team classes. Again, this is pre-COVID when we had the place full, and I was doing the smaller classes because I'd rather have more of the focus and the one-on-one with the coach. With the trainer.
So for any of you guys listening and you kind of don't get what they're saying, small classes, big classes, pre-COVID, our motto here when we opened the club was a regular gym. Sell membership, sell personal training, have classes. If people are interested, they can join them. If not, they can go on their own. In 2014, I met a wonderful mentor, Jeremy Klugerman, Thomas Plummer, a few guys that I met from the US, and they said, you got to change your model, man. You got to get into coaching. People need coaching. They don't need a gym. You can't sell them access. They don't know what to do. So we started changing our concept, and we stopped selling gym membership, and we only sold classes of 20 people and small classes of 5. And, with COVID, we changed the team classes have been removed. But we've always maintained the philosophy of every person in our club should have a coach. I don't care if you're a CEO. I don't care if you're a millionaire. I don't care if you're a student. I don't care if you're a single mom with 2 kids. You deserve a coach. So when they're talking about coaching classes, basically every time they come into the club, they just sign up for a class, they pop in, and there's 3, 4, 5, 6 people in a class. So that's what they're talking about. So then from that concept, you guys said, okay, this is a club, I want to join.
Yes. So there was 2 things. So we came from an interesting position where and I'm saying interesting, this is in comparison to maybe other members that join here.
Yeah.
We came from a point where we're spending money on a coach that's coming to our house, and we know how much that costs. It's a significant amount.
Yeah.
Right? So this actually worked out for us cost-wise because we're spending less compared to having a person come to our house.
And now you got to drive. So you're like, do I spend more and have them come to me?
Well,
Luxury,
no, they came
or-
to us. So he was like, they were coming to our house. So that's
Perfect.
the part. But coming here, this is a 3-minute drive from our house, right? So cost-wise, compared to what we were spending, it made sense for us. Whereas I can not understand, but I think some of the struggles with other people are they become from a different point where they're spending like 50, 60 bucks at these box gyms.
Yep.
And have to spend more, but they have to
Got it.
experience what you offer compared to a box gym. That's the whole thing. Right?
And that was what my friend, I said, fine, I'll come. Just tell me what is the difference between where I'm going, what I'm doing now versus, PMF. She goes, just come. You're going to love the team classes.
Right.
And I'm like, what does that mean? She's like, there's a trainer and there's a group of us and we work out together and there's a variety of exercises. So it's just, she's like, you're just not going on the treadmill and then taking a Zumba class and coming out. And then I came, I tried it, I loved it because somebody was coaching me and I was learning a whole bunch of different types of exercises.
There's another element,
Yeah.
and this applies
That was
probably more
huge.
to me than you. But you said it yourself, we're both sociable.
Yeah.
So we're not
Very.
we're not
Yes.
serious and like we're serious about our workout, but we're not as intense. Like we'll crack jokes with each other. If
Yeah.
I made friends here now, members. If we're in the same class together, we'll joke with each other. I know the trainers here well now. Like we'll crack jokes together. Like I'm making this as enjoyable as possible, right? I'm not-
Social club, but you're
Yeah.
getting results while you go and hang out.
Make the
there.
best of it. I'm making the best of it is what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Like at no point during like a deadlift or a squat am I saying to myself, "Oh, I love doing this." I'm gonna be absolutely honest. I don't say
And
that.
it's not like you're competing and trying to beat someone. If you
Right.
are, it's a
Right.
fun competition. It's
Right.
not like I really want to beat this guy because
Right.
that's
So
a
make the
state.
best of it. You know what I mean? It's like just like anything. Like the experience is what you make out of it, right? So I'm trying my best.
The,
to make the
the
best
most
out of it, yeah.
amazing thing I felt too when I first joined these team classes was like, oh my God, am I going to feel intimidated? Are there different levels of people in my class? And yeah, there were more advanced people. There were people that were even less advanced than I were.
Yeah.
But nobody made you feel any different than you did. Nobody cared
Perfect.
what I was doing. I didn't care what they were doing. And everybody was just doing their own thing. And the trainer was just coaching us all. Like he was just coaching all of us, and we
Yep.
were just doing our thing.
And one thing I'm going to add for those of you who don't know about us and what's unique is she says we have classes. Everyone has classes. Well, they have fun coaches. Everyone's got fun coaches. But when you're training people based on somatotype, and for those of you guys who don't know what that word means, that is the philosophy of training people based on body type. An ectomorph is a tall person, typically fast metabolism, small wrists, small ankles, long limbs. They can easily lose weight. It's hard for them to gain weight. I'm an ectomorph. That body type needs a different style of a workout. They need to be lifting heavy. They need longer rest. They do not want to do cardio, and they got to be doing compound lifts. Now, is on the far end of the spectrum, an endomorphic individual is someone that's got thick wrists, thick ankles, wide shoulders, wide waist, slow metabolism. Carbohydrate intolerances are super, super hard for them. And that person needs high intensity, more body weight movements, higher reps, less rest. So when you're putting them together in a workout, and there's one more body type, the mesomorphic individual, which is kind of a blend of both. Wide shoulders, narrow waist, tiny joints, they gain and they lose weight. So if you're listening right now and you're like, oh my God, I've been gaining and losing weight ever since I was 20 years old and I'm 45, you're a mesomorphic individual. What's unique is I've made it my mission to make sure that when people come and train, they're getting something a little bit more customized. So if there's 2 plus size women in the corner and there's Sam and there's another guy who's like me who's trying to put on muscle, the coach will give the workout that's prescribed on the board, but now the 2 ladies are doing 35 seconds, 40 seconds rest, body weight. This guy's doing a barbell squat, they're doing body weight. I'm doing a body weight or a barbell squat, and I'm doing 6 reps. Sam may be doing 10 to 12. When I'm done, I'm resting longer. So there's a lot of customization, and a lot of people forget that every gym offers classes, but if it's not customized based on a specific principle, it's the same as every class, right? So We're gonna fast forward here. We know your
Actually,
lifestyle.
I'm just gonna add to what you said.
Yeah, tell
so
me.
When I was at LA Fitness, I tried one of their classes, and
Tell me what you thought.
first of all, it's like a literally like
Sardine can?
yeah, there was 20 of us. Now I know you've had up to 20 here, or you're allowed up to 20 here before COVID.
20 is a small class at LA. If you go to
Yeah,
LA,
that's what I'm
40
saying.
is a big.
That's what I'm saying.
Is an average class.
And the problem is, the trainer at the front, she's telling you what to do, or she was telling me what to do, exercise-wise, but she has no idea what you're doing. She's too busy focused on making sure she can get through the hour because she has 20 people watching her.
Yeah.
So there's no personal attention on you, right?
100%.
Like there's only accountability is on yourself.
Got it.
There's no one else to be in her ear.
Whereas here, there's small people. There's 6 in a class. So if you're doing something wrong, and if you're listening and you're like, oh my God, this club sounds like the place I want to go to. If we know you're very broken, you have injuries, you're introverted, you're afraid, we'll just tell the class coach, listen, Maria or Joe Bob, whatever it is, when they're in the class, give them a lot more love, give them more attention. And then clients like Sam and Neeru, who are already advanced and they're the high performing clients, they get it. They know someone brand new's in. They know that all we got to do is yell at Sam, maybe throw a dumbbell at him and gets him motivated. For Neeru, we got to challenge her by asking her to do 5 more reps and she'll go. Whereas the beginning client, they need that motivation. So instead of trying to see if you can see the coach because there's 20 people in the class, or you're following a TV screen like some clubs, I'm not going to mention names, but they're 45-minute workouts. Everyone does the same workout. They're following a TV screen. Or there's a club that, does their program based on a color theme, and everyone's doing cardio for 45 minutes, and they're charging you money to do cardio. Guys, you can do cardio by yourself. Training with something that's structured with periodization principles, with progressive overload, with somatotype approach. Guys, these are principles that personal trainers provide one-on-one clients, and we're giving them in a small group of 6. So now that you've experienced the classes, how do you rate yourself or yourself to your previous body? Like, tell me right now, if I said the body that was going to LA back in the days compared to now, how can you do much more? What's different? Forget
it's
percentage-wise, because
it's night and day. Like I said, I wasn't even focused on weights at that time, right? So it was just
pure cardio,
and I was just trying to lose weight, which I wasn't even doing, right? My mentality is I'm doing this at least, so I guess I'm not gaining. I got the heart going, but I'm not changing the body. Then when you put me in the program here, kind of thing, it's like this with everything, not just the exercise, but even the nutrition tips that you've given me a lot, as well as the support she's given me at home.
Yeah. I remember that one tip I gave you, which was fruits for 2 weeks instead of
that was
starch
actually
carbs.
Later. That was
January.
I was at a peak.
Skipping for in the morning,
So
and you dropped 2% in like 2 weeks.
You're talking. So this all happened recently. This is all like January of this year.
Right.
Prior to we're talking December of 2020, I guess. Where we at? Basically, December just passed. I was at a good place. I've lost weight. My body's changed. Remember, this is like I've been here a good 3 years now.
Yeah.
Right, but yeah, what I came to you with was I was stuck at like 18% body fat or something. I'm like, dude, I've been basically, if I compare myself from December, that just passed to December before that, the numbers haven't changed. Now they've gone up and down throughout the year, but if I compare those two data points,
your body's plateauing, baby.
So I'm like, but my body's changed. I feel better.
Yeah.
Right, just the numbers haven't.
Right.
So then, that's when you gave me the tip that took me to the next level, and that was change. For a couple of weeks. Remove your starch carbs and
replace them with fruit, man.
Fiber
so
carbs,
it's not like you're dying. We're just replacing the carbs. And what else in the morning, baby?
Wow!
Tell me how nasty that was.
This was a game changer. Skip every day for 15 minutes in the morning.
In the morning,
first thing,
empty stomach.
15 minutes. Sure, yeah. I'm not gonna eat.
Guys,
that was a life changer for me.
He did that. He dropped
January
2%. I think it was like 2 weeks. I put on social media. Like, that's crazy. 2% body fat. Is it comparable to almost like 6 to 8 pounds of weight?
And that's another thing that I learned from him too. I picked up skipping from him.
Well, now he's the best dressed and most accurate skipper in the gym.
So we're talking about this all started in January, right? Yeah. We're literally almost in. Actually, no, we are in December now. It's been a
before
year.
COVID.
Just
before COVID, because COVID kicked in March. We shut down March 17th.
Was it this March or last March?
Last March. So you did the skipping before COVID. Had to have been. Because that's when I was doing the videos and I was showing everybody what's going on about you.
You're right. I was skipping at home in the basement.
Yeah.
That's right.
Oh yeah.
That's
Pretty
right.
cool.
I was skipping in the
That's right.
basement.
Yep, that's
Yes,
right.
yes.
Yeah. You took it serious.
So this is what
That's
I'm
right.
saying. When you're at a club that cares to tweak you and give you the assistance and give you tips on a regular basis, you're going to get results. So if they're spending $100 more per month, $150, I get it. It's money. But at the end of the day, the guy's at his lowest was 14.9%. How old are you, bro?
I just turned 47.
These guys are in their 40s and they're in
know
better
what?
shape
I
than
just had a birthday.
you know.
Yeah.
They're in better shape than 30-year-olds.
When I got
Closer
to
to 50.
you know.
Yeah.
when I joined here, I was in like the low 20s, right? So I'm thinking to myself, if I get to 18 or 17, I'm content. And I got to 18, I got to 17, I was content.
And then you wanted
And-
more.
And I'm like, you know what? Yeah, that's when the whole skipping thing came up.
Yeah.
That's when the whole skipping thing, and then I lost, the 2%. So I was at 14.9. That was after a hard 6 months of. So I did relax the I'm gonna say it, the diet, you know, the choice of foods. I did bring carbs back in.
Yeah.
But I maintained the skipping.
Yeah.
And I still maintained the weightlifting.
Yeah.
Right. So I got to 14.9. I got to like what I thought I could never get to.
And just so you know, guys,
And here's the thing: it's not only did I get to something I never get to, I never even like it wasn't even a goal of mine because I thought it was unachievable.
15% of body fat for anybody over 40 years old is like almost athletic elite. You don't get that.
It's athletic, according to that chart. I know exactly what I have
Okay.
athletic status.
Oh,
Like
don't worry,
athletic
we heard
status.
athletic
And that's
all
badass.
day,
Athletic status.
every
For
day.
those of you who
Very
are
long
20
time.
years old, 25, 30, 35, listen, it gets tough when you're older. I'm 43. It's challenging, right? So, next question is, what are some of the first challenges you guys faced as members of the studio? Like, I know you took, there's new classes, new pains, but what are some of the challenges or obstacles you guys face? Because I want people who are listening to think, okay, you know what? If I'm not a member, I know what I'm going through. These guys just shared what they're going through. Was it difficult for you to fit in? Was it difficult for you to do the workouts?
There was an intimidating factor
Perfect.
coming in, right?
How long did
because
that last?
you know, I maybe 2 classes, and then I was
Perfect.
over it.
Perfect.
Right? Because coming from a gym where you're just doing a cardio and or being on a treadmill and then just leaving and nobody around, nobody's really with you or watching you or whatever. Now you're joining a team class, so you're kind of looking around. Like I said before, I'm like, oh, this person's advanced than me. Like, am I going to be able to keep up? Kind of went away. The coaches made me feel comfortable. Everybody's the same. Like, we were at the same level. Like, even though somebody could be more advanced, that feeling of being intimidated kind of just
So
went away.
any challenges for you?
You know what?
I'm learning some of the exercises. Like,
Because
they
we
were
do give you
brand
guys
new.
like functional training. We do specialize in giving you strength training workouts, and a lot of people listening don't get it. Well, I go to class too. I go to 9-round boxing. Okay, I get it, but are you doing a deadlift? Are you doing a clean and press? Are you doing a kettlebell swing? Are you doing a goblet squat to a shoulder press? Are you going down a 50-foot turf, crawling, pulling a sandbag that weighs 50 pounds? Are you pushing a sled with 200 pounds of weight and then skipping rope? No. So if you're not doing cross training, your workouts are not going to challenge you, right?
I never even heard some of those. Like, I didn't know goblet squats. I didn't know what a deadlift was. I was like, oh my God, can you repeat? What do you do? Like, because
And now your vocabulary is
now
increased.
it's like, exactly. I know what a deadlift is. I'll show you.
Yeah.
Deadlifts. How about a single
Can I
leg
do a goblet
Romanian
squat?
deadlift?
Yeah.
Come on.
Goblet
So
deadlift.
let's talk now. When do you guys work out? Let's talk badass stats here, okay? So Neeru, you're a mom. How old are your kids? Let's talk.
Our son is turning 20
Wow.
In March.
in
Wow.
March, and
March.
Rihanna's 17 and a half.
Wow.
our daughter. Yes, and we
So you
have,
guys are topping us. Me and Francesca, my beautiful wife. If you're listening, baby, I love you.
Well, you know what? It's
We
a good
love
thing you
you
mentioned
too,
that.
Francesca.
Our kids are young. Are 14 and 9.
I do. So I wonder if this plays a role also, right? Like maybe one of the reasons why we weren't this committed or dedicated was because our kids were younger at a point also. They're older
Yeah.
now. They're more independent
Yeah.
now. So we do
Yeah.
have
More
even,
free
like,
time. Yeah, it's true.
Even on weekends,
what
you know
I'm
what I mean? Like
saying.
we don't have to like stay at home or arrange sitters. We could
Yeah.
leave them home. They do their own thing now. They're at
But if
that
they were
age.
younger, you'd bring them here, stick them in the front. read a
Yeah,
book.
we didn't have that option available when they were younger.
There you go.
Well,
right?
that's what I was saying. There was that point in my late 30s where I was like, I'm finding more time. What am
Right.
I
Yeah.
going to do with this time? And
Right.
that's when I went into the nutrition, and he started. And now, progressively, 6, 7, 8 years later, where we are now.
But what you and I do now could actually work for families with younger kids that,
100%, because we
yes.
got people that bring their kids here, and they're one person's doing a class, the mom's going back to the little ones, or their kids are in their playing on an iPad or reading a book or something like that.
Well,
No,
it's
yeah,
not just that. We go at different times, right? So
Yeah.
if the kids were small, one of us had to be home. She's doing the 7 a.m. classes, and I'm in like after work, 5 o'clock kind of thing. So one of us would always be home.
Yeah,
right.
but the option to bring the kids to the
Oh,
gym is
exists now.
fantastic.
Yes,
100%.
And even
yes,
now,
yes.
when I see, young kids, young men, young women training with their parents, taking the classes,
Yeah,
I
we have
love
that.
it. I love it.
We
I
have
think
our
it's
youngest 2-on-1
absolutely
couple, I
great.
believe, is 12, and the train with the mom. So it's a 12-year-old boy and his
Oh,
mom.
I think I've seen them on a Sunday or
There's
something like
this
that.
Very
amazing
cute.
mom with 2 daughters that are
Yep.
always in one of my Saturday morning classes.
Yep.
I love seeing them. I think it's so
Yeah, it's
amazing
inspiring.
that they work out together, and
Now, talk about inspiring here is when we were shut down through COVID, and only gym owners or restaurant owners watching, or anyone who owns a business knows what it's like. It was gut-wrenching. We lost half of our clients, like straight out. I'm not going to hide it. Over 200 clients were dropped. We had to pivot to do online Zoom workouts. And you, along with Jonathan Siegel, what's up, bro? I think Lorella Wong,
right.
and a few others, you guys were crushing the Zoom workouts from your home religiously,
Right.
like 6 or 7 in the morning.
Yeah. Well, COVID for me changed my life as well, as I'm sure for everybody
Everyone.
else.
Yeah.
It was like a life changer. But I looked at it that it was such an amazing positive in my life. Yes, with exercise, I was at such a point with exercise, and then COVID just kind of
And you didn't wanna stop.
blasted all that.
So,
Yeah, so we
ladies,
were-
I want
yeah.
you to listen to something here. She says, I didn't want it to stop. And I want you to understand that if you're watching this and you got kids, or you're listening and you're not happy with the way you feel, the way you look, the way your energy is, and you look at your husband, I want you to look at your husband, and men look at your wives and say, do we really want to be like this? Do we really want to have this lifestyle? If not, let's do something about it. And you were coming here early in the mornings, and I know Sam was bugging me saying, hey, can I come into the gym? Can you like open the back door? And I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, come to the back door.
While I have your equipment too. Yeah.
There you go. Because you can't lift. We lent out equipment to Sam, but we're like, how much can we give the guy? 45-pound plate, barbell, 25-pound plate, kettlebells. It's like he's got a home built gym in his house. And he's like, you know what? It got to the point where I think you needed more weight.
It did. It was not. I was not at my maximum, but at least I was maintaining.
The equipment that he was bringing over from the gym to our house, I was seeing these massive barbells.
Yeah.
Like I was like,
The
there's
major took
no
good care
more
of me.
room. Like, what are you doing?
No, but
Yeah.
he gets it though. Like he gets it. Like
You have to
and-
train.
And not just he. Well, not only that, but you're my coach. You're like you want to take care of me. You want to make sure I don't stop.
Yeah,
right?
man.
So you're giving me the
That's
tools,
important for
you're
us.
giving me the tools and equipment I need to keep on maintaining. Right.
So let me ask you guys a question, okay? You train in the morning super early. When I sometimes check the cameras in the mornings, I wake up, I'm like, how's things going? I see Neeru in the corner. I see Jonathan Siegel. I love my coaches come in the morning. For any coach that's ever opened a club, I love you guys because it takes dedication to wake up in the snow, in the rain, and say, I'm going to go open the doors and train these clients, not only because of my job, but because they're expecting me to be there. So thank you, coaches. But what do you feel is going to be the secret or the help? Like, how do you balance work, the young kids, the business, the food prep and all that? Because I've been to your home. You guys have wicked parties, by the way. Let me know when the next one is. You guys have a very social life. But how do you help people listening right now that want to start exercising, but they're afraid? There's so many bloody fears. There's a fear of failure. There's a fear of it's going to be too hard. There's a fear of payment. There's a fear of, well, what happens if I have to do all this work? What do you tell these people that are listening right now saying, wow, well, this couple sounds really perfect, maybe they have it all made. They don't know what it's like. I'm sure you guys have shitty stuff that goes on in your lifestyle, but how do you balance it? How do you make the gym the priority? Because with older kids comes older problems. If anyone listening here, just because you have a 20-year-old doesn't mean, it's easy.
Exactly.
Because a 20-year-old microphone
Mic drop.
Mic drop.
Yeah, there we go.
David Chappelle style. A 20-year-old is a lot of challenges compared to a 10-year-old.
Right.
So how do you guys balance it?
The biggest thing for me is the way I look at it is I'm in this mindset I'm in now. I just turned 46.
Yeah.
I'm closer to 50.
You look 36,
If
girl.
I don't have my health, I don't have anything.
Love it.
I need.
Hold on. Can you repeat that again?
If I don't have my health, I don't have anything. I can't help my family. I can't do anything for them. And for me and Sam to be on this journey together, and I'm so happy that's the biggest thing that me and Sam have in common is our health and wellness.
Yeah.
And if we can show, and I think that's the biggest motivator is that if our kids see what we're doing now in our 40s and that can
Yes,
motivate
that's a
them
smart
to
thing,
do
man.
this in their early teens, in their 20s, they're going to be doing amazing. Even them learning about basics, water, nutrition, the exercises that they see us doing, or they know we're coming to the gym, so it's going to eventually kick in for them. That's what motivates me, right?
So I'm going to
The
stop you right
rest,
there.
yeah.
Parents that are listening, she just said that as much as it's important for her, and I think every female out there that has given birth to kids, I tell everybody, every female deserves to have a coach or deserves to be part of a gym that has coaches, because you've transformed your body to provide something new for the family. But she's went beyond it, and I'm sure they both do together, and she's thinking about the role model aspect for the kids. So for those of you who are listening or watching, damn it, if you want your kids to be more fit, your ass got to get more fit. Your ass got to get to the gym. Your ass got to do food prep.
Yeah.
You can't just point a finger and say, hey, can you help my child lose weight?
Yeah.
So what about you, brother? You tell me from the business side, from the entrepreneurial side. Running a business is like putting out fires every day.
It is.
But you're still here 5-6 days a week. And you're here on the weekends as well.
Thankfully, in my line of business, you don't necessarily have. So it's a desk job for the most part, right? Like I do sales calls, I meet clients, but a lot of time I'm on a desk, answering emails and just working with clients. Thankfully, you don't have to be in front of your laptop when you're really busy for 12 hours straight, right? So
That's hard, man.
But even if it's a 9-to-5 job, right? For the most part, I know after 5 o'clock, clients don't expect to hear from me, right? And anything I need to get out, I can do at any point after that point. So, hey, why not throw in a workout during that time, right? If I have to work later in the evening as a result of me getting this exercise session in, that's what I do. There are times I stop working, come here to train, and I go back to work because I don't want to miss the training session. I'm just not used to it. It's also a mindset for me, right? Like she talked about doing it for the kids and stuff. I actually do it more for myself. I just want to be a better version of myself, and this has helped. Like this helps with it.
Okay.
I just have one more thing.
Yeah.
Coming out of COVID, or we're in COVID, the amount of stress it put on the world, our family, and all this. The number one thing that I learned was the stress management part of it, right? Exercise really is an amazing stress management
Big
part.
time. I'm glad you
If
said
you
that.
don't have the stress management part under control, that's the leader of any type of illnesses. That's the root cause of a lot of stuff. So for me, exercise in my mindset, in where I am, is a meditation part for my body as well too. Like my body is my temple. It's a stress reliever for me, and that's the way I look at it. Right?
It's funny, in the last couple minutes we've talked about the 7 a.m. class, and now you're talking about stress management. So I've tried the 7 a.m. class a couple times.
I've tried.
That's stressful for you.
And I'm telling you right now. No.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's stressful. No. Sorry, I'll get to my point. It's not stressful, but I'll tell you this much: it's a different breed of people that do the 7 a.m. classes. My eyes are burning. Yes, it's good to get the workout out of the way. I feel great for a few hours, but no, that's not for me. Now, and the reason why I do it is because I just can't later in the evening, so I try to make it work at some point. So I'll go to the 7 o'clock class with her.
Yeah.
Now, on my normal 5 o'clock class, and if I have a stressful day at work or just intense, whatever the case may be, I can relieve my stress here. Right, where I can't do that at 7 a.m. because 7 a.m. I'm fresh, I've got no stress on.
Yep. You come here. So it's both angles are good. One, you relieve the stress early in the morning. You cleanse your body.
Yep.
Right.
Then you leave the gym feeling amazing.
100%. Yeah.
or you go to the club knowing I'm bringing my stress bag with me. I'm gonna
Right.
take it out.
Yeah. And when I get home after working out, I feel much better than when I left the house.
But guys, it's not the easiest thing to get up at 6:15
No,
or
it's
6
not.
o'clock.
No, that's tough.
It's
I'll
This
tell
is
you.
because
I'll tell
I'm
you.
literally doing 8 hours of sleep
It's a different
too.
breed. I'll
It's
tell you,
7
you're a different
I'm
breed.
zonked out. I'm gone to sleep 9:30. I'm like, I need my body to get that sleep. I'm going to the
Nice.
gym.
They
in
have
the
6
morning.
a.m. classes. I don't know who gets up that early. That's crazy.
They
there
do
are
it.
people. There are.
They
yeah.
do it.
I could never
And
do
the
that.
sleep part is huge. It's a key factor for me to make it to my 7 a.m. class.
Nice. So, narrowing down the questions I got for you is, one, we use the MyZone heart rate monitor, guys. For those of you who don't know what the MyZone heart rate monitor is, it's a heart rate monitor that we use to gauge intensity, workout capacity. It sends you an email at the end of your workout, tells you how many calories you're burning, so forth. Sam has probably been. Every month we have the top male and top female, based on how many Met points you get. The harder you work out, the more Met points you get. It gives you different ranges. So if you're at 90%, 80%, 70%, 60%, so forth. So when you train, you actually can look at the screen, see where you're at. It's flashing.
It's based on your maximum heart rate.
You got it.
Right.
So the harder you go, the more Met points you get.
Yeah.
So you've been probably number one in the club for the males, and you just became. I think you've been there before, but this is your first month at second place, right?
Right.
Yay, Neeru, kicking it up. Watch out. Sam's been the first place for many months now. 6
Yeah.
months?
Yeah.
First place male. I don't want to take credit. away
First
from-
place male.
I don't take credit away
Yeah,
from
the
it.
females are hardcore. We got
Yeah,
some
yeah,
hardcore females.
Yeah.
But what makes you want to be first place, or how do you get to that? Is it just based on your training, or do you purposely train extra to get that because you kind of want to have that bragging factor too?
Okay.
I think so. I'd love to brag if I was first place, my zone.
So I have like 2 paths with my zone. It's funny. Let's talk about the current one because remember I picked up skipping
Yeah.
in January, right? So
And
now
that burns a shitload of calories.
and not only that, but I added that to my regular workout. So now I'm
Perfect.
exercising twice, like
Perfect.
3 or 4 weekdays, where I wasn't doing that before January.
Perfect.
Right. So before January, I wanted 5,000 my zone points a month. Now I pick up skipping. All of a sudden, I see that I'm getting more points, burning more calories. I'm at 6,000.
Mhm.
So for me, like, I'm not trying to get first place on the board. This goes back to me trying to be a better version of myself, and to do that, I have to improve on what I've done before.
Yeah.
Right. So if I've got 6,000 points last month, there's no reason for me to get less than 6,000 the next month.
Got
Right
it.
now, if I get busy or I go on vacation or something comes up, sure, I have a reason. But I'm not trying to compete with anyone except for myself.
Yeah, it's
Got
your
it.
personal
Love that.
best.
That's
It's-
what it
he's
is.
Guys,
just-
I hope
yeah.
you heard that. He's trying to compete with himself. And this is what it comes down to when it comes to health and fitness. You're competing with yourself, not nobody else.
Absolutely. I see the board. I'm not gonna lie. If I see the board and we're approaching, you've got your monthly tallies, and if I see that I'm 20 points behind someone, sure, I'll work for an extra 10 minutes to pass
Yeah,
that person.
that's smart.
Right. But if it's significant, if they're like something unreachable, no. Like I said, I'm here for my personal goals. Right. Like
Got
right
it.
now it's at 6,000, and the last week of this month, I took a look at the board. I said, hey, if I just maintain my pace, I'll do 6,000. I have other members talk to me, Sam, you're killing us. You're killing. I'm like, listen, I'm just trying to hit 6,000. That's it. Period. Right. Like I understand everyone's watching the board. I'm just watching myself.
That's it.
For
You're
that
competing against
6,000.
yourself.
And in being in a partnership, like that's what motivates me. Like this is how we motivate each other. Like I'm like I want to get up there, so Sam's up there.
Yeah, she's moved
He's
up a lot.
skipping up,
She's-
and I'm like, if he can do it, I can do it.
Right.
So
And that's the
great.
beauty of the MyZone heart rate monitor. For a lot of our clients that do our online coaching, we tell them we can get you access to one, but it doesn't matter where you're training if you don't use technology to gauge where you're at, whether it's be how many steps do I do per day? What's my body fat percentage? What's my cardiovascular capacity when I'm jogging? How many calories do I burn per workout? If today in 2021, 22, we're not using statistical information and data to track what you're doing, guys, you're wasting time.
Well-
You're leaving results on the board.
How else do you know how to improve on yourself? That's the whole thing.
What
right?
doesn't get measured doesn't
Yeah.
get changed. You
It's an
can't, you know?
amazing tool.
Yes.
So if we had to narrow things down here, give the moms out there 2 tips
Is this
that
me or-
you've
me or her?
done.
Who's this for?
That's for you.
no. Who's the question directed to?
So Neeru,
All right,
obviously,
got it.
unless you become a female expert. You'll give the dads a
Far
tip.
from it. Far
But
from
give
it.
them 2 tips that you think they can do tomorrow. Like yes, guys, come join Pure Motivation Fitness tomorrow. That's the first tip. No, but what is 2 things they can do tomorrow to take impact that you have like mastered and you do on a regular basis? Could be anything. Could be from food prep to training. What are 2 things they can do?
That's huge. So I would say like if they could just start with some meal preps.
Good.
And that's what
When do you do meal prep?
I do them on Sundays.
Nice.
And I do it. You know, it took me a little bit of time to get adjusted.
I
to
kept
it,
pushing you
but
guys
you know
for
what?
like.
It's amazing. I find it so meditating. I put my music on.
I
do
put a
my
glass of
grocery
wine in the
shopping.
corner, man.
Exactly. That's what he knows. And
There you
I'm there
go.
for hours, and everybody's like, "What are you doing?" My friends are like, "I'm like." And then when I show them the final production,
Yeah.
I'm like, "This is made out of love, and
That's
this is what we're eating."
That's
so
it.
and that
convenient
nutrition
for
is
the week.
coming
It's
into us,
convenient for the
and
week
it's
also.
amazing. Yeah,
So,
there's a
ladies, you
timetable.
heard it. Neeru is the champ here. She said to do food prep. She does it on Sundays. It takes her 2 hours. She's got a glass of wine with her husband, classical music in the background, or
Football
some
down.
house music. Bring back the 90s.
And I would also say is forget the Netflix and just try and get some
I
extra
like that. Thank you,
sleeps.
because I wasn't even expecting.
Netflix and
You
chill
know what?
after
My
working out.
brain was not thinking Netflix, but for real, like get
It
your
is,
ass
like,
off of TV.
Get off.
I noticed today, guys, I did 2,100 calories, which is garbage for me, and I did 6,594 steps. I did 6,000 steps today. On average, I'm at 14,000, 10,000. So if you're sitting on your ass all day, you ain't gonna get results. Okay, Sam, males, talk to the males right now. They're listening to you.
I don't think this applies only to males. It's probably more general, right? I'm a male, so I don't know.
Go into that microphone. I want them to
Okay,
hear
yeah.
this. There you go.
For me, what's worked is dedication, right? Consistency, right? I've been consistent with the training. I've been as consistent as I can with the nutrition.
Right.
But the key thing is consistent. Don't say to yourself, I'm going to wait. I'm going to start something on Monday. I'm going to start something on January. And then, you might see results if you go 3-4 months and then stop because you've got these results. No, you have to keep on going, right? It's like your body, I don't want to treat it like a car, like if you want to maintain that car.
100%.
You keep
It's
on
consistent action.
Yeah, you got to service it. You got to take care of it. If you want it to last long, if you want to be in the
Service
best
it.
shape
Love it.
possible, take care of it, maintain it, right? So that's and consistently. That's the key thing. Don't
I
stop.
tell people that have these fancy, luxurious cars and homes, it's like, guys, you're driving a Ferrari, but then when you open the door, you have a tire around your waist, your blood pressure's so high that you're taking medication, and you can't even do a push-up, but you got a Ferrari. I don't get it. So I like that. Take consistent action. My coach Vince tells me, take imperfect action. He goes, do what you have to do. If it's wrong, get it wrong, but learn from it. Just take action, move, do something. What's another tip?
That's the main one. Honestly, I package dedication and nutrition dedication to exercising and nutrition. But sure, I can split those up because they're both pretty important. You can't train and eat garbage because you're just taking away from yourself.
So then what makes you be dedicated and consistent? Because another guy's going to listen and say, well, listen, man, I'm busy. He doesn't know my lifestyle. I'm an manual labor lifestyle.
Right.
I'm a truck driver. I'm a computer analyst. Like,
I think you have to give yourself the opportunity to learn, to try this out, right? So give yourself a proper 1, 2, or even 3 months to go through these motions. You will see results. And once you see these results, you don't want to stop maintaining those results. That's what it was for me, at least, right? So I saw results really significant the first 3 months. I'm like, you know what? I want to maintain this. And then through you, I've learned other ways to get better and maintain that. So
Right.
I wasn't skipping before. Now ever since I started skipping and lost all this body fat, now guess what? I'm skipping all the time now.
like a boxer.
Like a boxer, right? So it's maintenance. But you need to eat properly as much as you can at the same time also. Don't get me
Yeah,
wrong.
because these guys are 80-20s. They're very good 80-20s. They know how to go hardcore 80%, but they also know how to sit back and enjoy life, right?
We enjoy our weekends. We eat, we drink.
Yeah. I'm, yes, we're in this, but I'm sure everybody could find 30 minutes,
Yeah,
30
good for you,
minutes.
Neeru. Good for
You
you.
can find it, guys.
30 minutes. If
It's
your
just
ass is
it.
watching TV
Just
right
start,
now,
Yeah.
You know
get
what?
off.
She's right, because when you suggested
In a 24-hour time span, this is how I
30
actually
minutes,
looked at
man.
it.
I like that.
I looked at I'm like, Neeru, how are you going to do this, right? And in a 24-hour clock, I'm like, okay, I have 7 hours for work, and then I have to put in 8 hours of sleep. What are you going to do with that balance of time, Neeru? Okay, so time for the kids. Where is me time? What
Yeah,
does me time mean?
that's
Does it mean
important.
TV, this, that? No, my me time.
and your
for
me time has been
is-
sometimes 5 to 6 days a week here.
Yes.
So that's crazy. If you're listening, people, like, if she goes 6 days a week, she's hitting more than I'm going, and I'm the gym owner.
But it's 1 hour.
See?
It's just 1 hour out of my 24 hours.
Here's how I look at it: 24 times 7. There's 168 hours.
Yeah.
If you can't spend 5 on your body, you got problems, right?
It's even 50 minutes. Let's just say I skip for an extra 10 to make it.
There
And
you
the
go.
best part in my morning classes, because we're such like a little community, everybody knows I have a 500 calorie target.
Yep,
So
your goal.
at the end of the finisher, when we are and I'm at like 450, they're all like, okay, come on, Neeru, let's get to 500. And
see?
either they'll run around the gym with me, we'll do jumping jacks together, we'll skip until I hit my 500 calorie
And that's a
goal.
gym
That's
atmosphere thing. You ain't gonna
amazing.
get that in a big
I
box
love
chain.
it. Yeah.
You ain't gonna get that at the club that's charging 50, 60 bucks a month. You ain't gonna get that when you're at home looking at a video from YouTube or you're Googling someone's workout that you've seen. You get that in a place that's got an environment that's uplifting and positive.
Yeah. Shout out to all my morning people.
Yeah, shout out to the morning people.
Yeah.
Boop, boop, boop.
When you suggested to me that I start skipping in the morning, and I was already training 5 days a week here,
Mhm.
all I told myself was, you know what, if I want to see this, again, back to my advice, I got to try it for a few months. I got to try it. He's
Yeah.
let me do it. I got to give it a chance now.
You gotta take action, man.
Yeah. Just see if it works. See if it works. Why not? And so the suggestion was 15 minutes every morning. All I did was tell myself, okay, wake up half an hour earlier, go to sleep half an hour earlier. That's it. That's how I was able to make that adjustment.
He's motivated so many people on skipping. Our son is skipping.
He's motivated
I'm
people in the
skipping.
club. I'm
Our
sure in your
cousins have bought
community.
skipping ropes. Yeah, our community.
And I've even
is
heard that
skipping.
Sam, I've
Yeah.
had people that know Sam. They're like, Sam was not like this before.
No, he
Yeah.
wasn't.
He was not a fit guy that was.
Someone said that?
Yeah, one of your peeps that came here, but that's why they're motivated, right? Because they're
Right.
like, if Sam can do it, then I can do it.
Right.
Well, there you go. So when I was doing, I guess I wasn't fit at all. Then when I was doing like I was telling you earlier, when I was at 3-4 days a week at LA Fitness or Extreme Fitness, whatever, Good Life in Between, I had no plan. I was just going there for the sake of going.
We didn't have a coach to tell us.
Yeah,
Right.
a lot of people.
I had no plan as a result of a
Yeah.
coach not telling me a plan. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
my motto, it's pointed right there on the board. Coaches
Coaches
change
change
lives,
lives.
guys.
They really
100%. 100%.
I want to thank you guys both for coming and in an evening when you guys could be at home doing your chill Netflix, whatever that combo's called. I want to remind you guys that I appreciate you guys giving a lot of energy to our members. A lot of members look up to you guys. A lot of members are trying to compete with you guys and try to keep up with the Met points. But my main reason today and my main mission for bringing you guys on board was I want to prove to everyone that we do have clients that do 6 days a week of exercise, that do have kids, that do have businesses, that do have busy careers, that have stresses. It's not the perfect lifestyle that lets you exercise. It's the mindset that says to you, do I want to live an elite lifestyle or an average lifestyle? And I'm hoping through you guys talking to us for 56 minutes and 49 seconds. Thank you so much. And for those of you who've listened and stayed till the end of this podcast, you are badass. But I just want to say I applaud you guys. I commend you guys because I'm very big on kids. And I know that your kids listening to this and watching are going to think, my parents are badass. My parents train 6 days a week. My parents look amazing. My parents I'm sure that you can probably compete at a level of like 10 to 15 years less than you guys. And it's a no problem. It's a no-brainer. So thank you very much. Guys, for anyone listening right now, if you want to send me a DM or you message us and you say, Sam and Neeru, we're going to give you a complimentary training session or 2 free classes just for coming in and saying Sam and Neeru. You got that on YouTube? You got that over here? Sam
I
and
say
Neeru.
that?
You can't say that. You're not going to get nothing free. But if you're stuck and you're not sure how to get started, if you're a professional, career-oriented person, you're 40 plus with kids, that's our target market. Those are the people we help. Not to say that if you don't have kids, we can't help you, or if you're younger, but we really jive and we want to help all the parents out there that have busy lifestyles, that are neglecting their bodies, that are living with stress and pain because they don't think it's possible. Sam, give us your closing remarks.
No, sorry, it's not closing. I wanted to make one thing clear also to everyone out there. Like, don't think because her and I are coming here 5 to 6 days a week that's impossible for you to do. We're not suggesting. doing
Yeah,
that. We're
you don't
also
have to match you guys
do
to be
what
fit.
works for you and your lifestyle.
2 to 3 days could be a good start.
Yes,
We
absolutely.
started at 2 to 3.
Yeah.
We've now worked our way
Right.
up.
Yeah.
But you guys are
Yes.
almost hitting 50. You're going
Right.
5-6 days a week is not normal, and it doesn't mean you guys are abnormal. It means you guys are elite. And if an athlete were to sit here, a mixed martial artist, a track athlete, a basketball player, they'd be like, "Okay, what's wrong with that? Yeah, they're training 6 days a week. That's amazing. That's like us."
Right.
And if you look at the average person, they can't even find half an hour to go for a jog or do a workout. So hats off to you guys. You guys are badass. I promise to finish this podcast in under an hour. I'm there. We're at 59 minutes, 10 seconds. Thank you so much,
Thanks
guys.
for having us. This was fun.
Thank you.
Have a
Dimitri.
wonderful evening. And until next time, remember, attitude is everything. My tattoo says happiness is a decision. Make that choice today. Boom. We're out.
Good night, guys.